So next up we have Chris Woodbridge, who I've known for a very long time. And I think that Chris is one of the most experienced, popular, and respected recruiters and business development professionals in the UK today. And I first worked with Chris at Technology Resourcing, where he headed up the project controls, planning, and commercial sector. And since then, Chris was with Econix for 6 years through the Oracle acquisition, where he gained a deep level of insight into the state of the UK project controls market. Chris has recently joined Resolving International, and he's here to tell us about their collaborative platform, which has been designed to support the quality and compliance processes around assets when they are constructed, operated, or decommissioned. So Chris, over to you.
Thank you, Phil. I'll just bring up my slide now. So yes, as Phil mentioned, we've known each other for quite a while, but for those of you that don't know me, I'm Chris Woodbridge. I work for Resolving International, and we are a collaborative digital platform for managing documents, data, quality and compliance in the construction and engineering sector. And what I'm going to talk about today is some of the challenges that we see, but also some of the ways that we can solve these challenges. I've got my colleague Richard Moore that's joining me for Q&A at the end, and I'll try my best not to overrun. The industry is changing. That's certainly something that we've been seeing even more recently. And now more than ever, there is a focus on the need to replace the manual processes with more efficient digital and paperless methods and ultimately deliver better quality assets across the business. And according to recent studies by the Get It Right initiative, which we're part of, direct costs of avoidable errors are costing the industry around 5 billion a year, and potentially up to 25 billion when you take into account indirect and unmeasured costs. So there's a huge percentage of the sector's turnover that's being utilized, just correcting issues that could be avoided. So driving quality is absolutely key, particularly when we start looking at some of the bigger projects that are out there. And now we work on projects of all sizes, small to large, but we've also been lucky enough to work on some of the most prestigious projects around the world. And there's no surprise, they've all got the same goal. They want to open on time, they want to be on budget, and they still want to attain the highest level of quality and compliance in what are often very unique and very complex assets. The challenges faced are also generally pretty consistent, and traditional methods of managing the quality doesn't really offer the level of granular detail necessarily to solve those challenges. So we're going to look at those challenges today, and we're going to look at some ideas on how we can solve those. Now, the first thing we want to take a look at is making sure that the construction data is available in the field, the latest construction data, because all too often the focus has been on how we fix the issues once they've already been made. But I'm a big believer that first and foremost, the focus should be getting it right first time. And by making sure the site teams are working from the latest available models, documents, plans, and elevations out in the field, we can minimize the amount of mistakes that are happening right from the get-go. And furthermore, by making sure this information is packaged logically into rooms or area packs, the site teams can quickly get access to all of the relevant data they require, even when they're offline, and we can make it easier just to increase that accuracy from when they're out on site. Now, we can do this a few ways. It could be that that information is sitting right within Resolving's own common data environment, but there's no reason why this couldn't be being pulled out of another provider's CDE via APIs. The options are there. The next thing we want to start looking at is tracking the progress of both the construction, equipment installation, and room closeout. So on a large project in Macau recently that we've been working on, there was a real issue of just being able to see the inspection status of any given room. Now, if you can imagine, this project had around 5,000 rooms within it, and each of those rooms could have anything up to 1,000 defects. Do you wait for each one of those 1,000 defects to be closed out before that room is ready? Or do you manage the status of that room as its own entity? And the solution that we found was to create intelligent rooms and spaces within the floor plans and then apply custom workflows to allow the site team to track the closeout or readiness of those predefined spaces And then this same workflow concept can be used to track the construction and structural progress, and also the installation and commissioning of systems and equipment within those areas. But when you start considering the sheer magnitude of the issues that will get recorded on complex projects like these, were we to allow everyone to raise whatever they want, call them whatever they want, and then assign it to whoever they please, you're going to very quickly get a very unmanageable project, and it's going to be virtually impossible to gain any useful insights at all that's going to help you to improve. So what we've learned is that it's imperative to apply the following controls. You need to predefine your quality checks using configurable inspection templates, just to get some consistency. You need to standardize and categorize the defect types and their descriptions. You need to allow users a very simple way to drag and drop these templates, so you can accelerate this process and ideally allow this to take place in either 2D plans or 3D models, or in fact both. You then need to automatically distribute the actions to the relevant parties for them to rectify efficiently. All of this is going to speed up capturing, assignment, rectification and reporting of the quality checks, so that you can easily spot trends around poor quality and then identify any bottlenecks quickly. But as you can imagine, there's a lot of data being created from this. So what we want to do is start turning that data into valuable, easy to read information, so that you can more easily spot these patterns and get in front of any problems early. And to do this, we need to create an out-of-the-box dashboard interface for user and management level reporting, so we can give certain users a detailed view of outstanding defects in any given location, but then provide inspection teams with a view of current inspection progress across the entire project. We also need to give management an analytical view of each area's completion status. So as an example, some of the more used reports that we have built within our system are our observation by plan report, which shows a detail of every issue and its position on a 2D plan, or our area room matrix, which shows the current status of every room and area across the site or asset. So what's the end result from doing these, or putting in these controls into place? Well, we minimize the errors by giving site teams access to the information that they need when they need it. And then we've got an accurate view of the progress of the project. And that could be just being able to see whether that room is defect free and whether it's compliant. And if not, where are we in that process? We've accelerated the recording and turnaround time of issues with a simple interface and automatic distribution. And we've provided better accuracy and context by utilizing the 2D and 3D worlds simultaneously. So you've now got a quality assured built asset with safe and compliantly installed equipment and all of the documentation for handover that you'll need, such as O&M manuals, warranties, certificates, and you've got them all in one place with a single source of the truth. And as a natural byproduct of doing just these controls, you've now got an easily accessible mobile digital record that's ready for operational teams that they can use either within their office or out on sites. Essentially, you've got a digital twin on a mobile device. That's pretty much it for my presentation. I really appreciate everyone taking the time to have a look at that, and I'm available for any questions, as is my colleague, and you can see my contact details there on the screen. Thank you very much.
Chris, that was just great. I can tell a lot of hard work went into that presentation and in recording the demo and getting the cadence of your narrative to match up with it. It's such a comprehensive solution. I've seen other tools that do progress measurement and snagging that map through to drawings, but never to 3D and not with that type of comprehensive structure. So well done. Can I point out to you, please, Chris, a question from Paul Slinger that's been asked. Can your defects reporting information be used on any project or only on those that already have a level of BIM sophistication on the electronic drawings?
Actually, no, we've got projects that and clients, in fact, that have different levels of maturity. So we have clients that come to us with just 2D plans, and all they really wish to do is place defects very quickly and easily straight onto that floor plan to be able to get to be able to rectify them quickly. In fact, we've actually got clients that just come to us wanting to create a digital record of their asset, and they sometimes don't even have a floor plan. They could just come to us with a fire safety plan, and we can start to give them access to that fire safety plan and allow them to start managing processes around commissioning equipment, defects and issues and inspections right onto there. So we can take people right the way from that lowest level of maturity and information all the way to just bringing in a model from whatever authoring tool that you have straight into our platform and allowing you to manage directly into the BIM model. So no, we can support any level of client with any amount of information and help support them both manage the delivery, but also help them to build digital records of current assets, not just the ones they're trying to build right now. You know, building those digital records on the perhaps even thousands of assets that they're currently trying to manage and operate within their portfolio.